Hey everyone, it's Job, and this is the first proper Journal with Me of 2017. I think I've fixed most of the audio issues I've been having in the past few videos, which is great. I also pre filmed this, so by the time you're watching this, I will probably be in Hong Kong, which is awesome. Okay, I've rambled on enough, let's get started. First, I'm going to go through my stash of papers to find a few papers to use as my background. I just wanted to thank Mitz, who sent me some surprise happy mail. She sent me some awesome vintage papers that I've been using in my spreads. My friend Riza also gifted me this whole scrapbooking set filled with pattern paper, which I will be using today as well. I should probably let you know that I'm going to try and do this voiceover in one go because usually I do multiple that doesn't make sense multiple voiceovers, and I usually just edit them together to sound like one long voiceover, but that takes me forever because I make so many mistakes and I have to cut and edit the voiceovers just so they sound all right. But I'm gonna try my best to just do one long voiceover for this whole video because I am in a time crunch, and usually that type of editing takes me a while when I'm doing multiple voiceovers. So I'm sorry, but you're gonna get the rawest voiceover on this channel for now. I apologize, but let's continue with the journal with me. This is the longest intro ever. Okay, see, this is what I usually sound like when I don't edit myself, but basically I just tore that piece of vintage paper down and I taped it onto the page, and I wanted to do that to expose those stamps that I have on the page. And those stamps are actually from the Midori meetup. I did a lot of stamping in my journal because those are the official Midori stamps all the way from Japan. And I basically, while I rambled, taped that post-it down and then put down some blue watercolor onto that blank part of the page just to add some more color onto the page. And to go on with the blue theme, I'm using my Traveler's Factory blue washi tape, and I'm just framing that or taping that down on the bottom of the page to frame the page. There you go. And now I'm going in with my Classic-y. Nope, this is actually Camel Garden, and this is similar to the Classic-y book tape. And now I'm going in with my glue stick. You know, I don't like glue sticks, but I'm gluing that ephemera piece from where is that from? It's from a Kleenex box that I cut out. And now I am going in and I'm taping the right date onto the page because as you probably noticed, I had the 4th on that page, but good thing I didn't tape that earlier. So I'm just gonna cut those overhangs off. And oops, wait, what is that on the page? Anyways, I think there was just a little scrap piece of paper that got stuck to the page, but I just cleaned up, and then I'm putting the word Tuesday near the date because it was a Tuesday that day. And I'm using a tiny brush pen. It's similar to the Tombow Food and Touch pens, but I can't seem to find that in Korea. So if anyone knows where I can find that, please let me know. And then I'm going in with that date stamp, and I just stamp the date near that stamp. The stamp, I don't think you can see it from here, but the stamp near the date is actually, it looks like an immigration stamp, but it has like Traveler's Factory on it. So now I'm working on the right side of the spread, and I want to use this paper that Mitz gave me, and I didn't want to cover that Star Fairy stamp on the right side of the page, right side of the spread I meant. And I basically just cut or tore a circle on that scrap piece of paper so that stamp could peek through that Japanese paper. And I'm gonna go in with my trusty tape runner and tape that onto the page. And yep, still taping and still taping. But I really like this paper that Mitz sent me, and I'm so thankful that she sent that over because I was running out of cool papers to use in my spread. Anyways, I wanted to adhere that tearaway sheet onto the page, but it was covering that stamp that I had on the top right corner, so I decided to just cut a piece out of that calendar sheet so that stamp could still peek through. But I thought that the spread looked a little too plain, so I'm gonna go in with my watercolors. This time I'm using my Shinhan watercolors, and I'm gonna go in and paint my go-to, which are these leaves. You've seen me do this a lot in my spreads, but I think it just adds a lot of visual interest in a very short amount of time. It doesn't take too much effort, and it ends up looking pretty good. And I think when I was creating the spread, I wanted the right side of the spread to have a lot more warmer tones in it, so I used reds and oranges, and on the left side of the spread used a lot of blues because I used the blue watercolor and the blue washi tape. And I guess it just adds a good contrast onto the spread. And I'm just layering leaves over top of each other and trying to make it look kind of like the leaves are covering or overflowing and taking over that stamp. But I'm pretty happy with the results, and I guess to top it all off, I'm gonna put these starbursts on top of the leaves. There's this Instagram page that I am super obsessed with. It's called Kuya George on Instagram, and he's a calligrapher, and he specializes in this very 50s looking calligraphy style, and he basically puts a lot of starbursts in his finished pieces, and I like to draw inspiration from that Instagram account a lot, and it's probably my favorite calligraphy Instagram at the moment, so you should go check it out. I will leave a link in the description bar. And while I'm rambling, I tore off a piece of the Classic Key onion skin paper, and I'm just taping that onto the spread because there isn't a lot of writable space, if that makes sense. There's not a lot of space where I can write on the spread, so I just wanted to adhere that onto the page so there's a little bit more room to write on the right side of the spread. Basically, I ended up writing on top of the Japanese paper, but it's a little hard to read, so I'm glad I added that little space in the spread so I can write on. So now I'm gonna finally adhere that calendar sheet down, and honestly this is pretty much the well, we're nearing the end of this journal with me, and I'm using this MT washi tape that has clips all over it, and a lot of people use this as stickers. So basically people cut out the different clips on the washi tape and they use that in their spreads, and I'm doing the same, but I haven't made these into stickers because honestly I just don't have the patience to cut out all of those clips, but I cut them out when I need to, and I'm just, I guess, adhering that bronzy looking bulldog clip onto the left side, no, the right side of the spread near the date, and then I'm gonna go in and do some stamping. So I stamped that finger pointing stamp near the date and near that Midori stamp that I had at the top of the page. And now I'm just trying to rack my brain as to what I should add on the spread because it's honestly very busy and there's very little writing room on both sides of the spread. But I remembered that I did have my LG Pocket Printer, and I'm gonna use the LG Pocket Printer and print a photo and put it on the left side of the spread near the date. And I don't know if I ever mentioned this, but I actually am taking part on the 365 photo challenge. I'm not really posting this on my Job's journal account. It's just more of a personal project, and I failed. I basically stopped the 365 photo challenge already. I think it's January 12th right now, and I stopped. So I lasted 12 days, maybe even less. But when I was creating this spread, I guess I was still working on that 365 challenge. So I printed out my day 3 photo, and it's just me in this field, and I thought it was cool, and I printed it so the border looks like a Instax Polaroid, and I just put hashtag rural onto the photo because I live in rural Korea. If you didn't know, I don't live in Seoul, but I love it here. Anyways, this is too personal. This is the finished journal with me. So, whoa, that doesn't make sense. This is the finished journal spread. I hope you enjoyed watching this and listening to me ramble. I've been rambling for 8 minutes, maybe even longer, but I still enjoyed doing this voiceover and this journal with me. It's a lot more candid than my usual style, but I hope you enjoyed it. There's probably gonna be no video next week because I'm gonna still be traveling through Hong Kong and Taiwan, but once I'm back, there will be a new video up. But you can follow my adventures on Instagram through my Instagram stories. And until next time, bye.